Today we're going to be going through some weird but super creative tips to help you do better in Fortnite, including ones that you've probably never even known about. Now before we get into it guys, big thanks to Knockaround for sponsoring this video. They sell cheap, high quality gaming glasses that help keep your eyes from getting tired when you're playing Fortnite for those long hours. Now they just updated with new colors and you can even design custom ones. Seriously, I've been using mine for months now and they really do work great for when your eyes are feeling tired out. And along with that, you can also get 20% off your order right now if you click the link in the description and use code TheLlamaSir20. But getting back into the video guys, yes, we have a bunch of tips to go through here. Ones that I compiled that aren't just, your basic tips video. These are ones that are pretty secret, like kind of secrets of the pros, but I haven't even seen some of them use them. But honestly, they should be because they are some very useful tips that you guys could be using right now. So yeah guys, if you find this video helpful, be sure to hit that like button down below. It always helps me out so much seeing the support on the videos. You guys have been really amazing lately. And along with that right now, comment how many wins you have in the game. I'm making my way towards 300 right now, and I'm hoping to get there soon, but I'm curious to see where you guys are at. But yeah guys, without further ado, let's jump into it here with the very first tip on this list. Alright guys, but this first one, I actually want to show it to you in game. So let's jump into a game here, and also got Omega for this week. Ready to go. I'm ready to get him ranked up. We got to get to level 80 with him to actually, unlock the full season level, like light up, glow stick effect. But yeah, finally got him, but that's not what we're talking about. We got to get into the game and show you the first tip, which has to do with actually like getting items out of the storm. It's this very unique tip, and I can't remember the exact person who figured it out, so sorry about that, but it is a super useful thing for like when you get stuck in the storm fighting people, you finish somebody off and your inventory is full, but you want to carry like maybe a med kit out of the storm as well. This can actually be super helpful. So let's just go ahead and drop towards like a pretty quiet place. Let's go over here to the containers. Although it is kind of off the bus, this might be a little bit crowded actually. Yeah, we got a few people. That's alright, we got this. Boom. I think that was the last guy. Never mind, there was one other guy. Alright, now we're ready. Alright, but yes, say you're in the storm right now, okay? And you're trying to get this loot right here from the guy you killed out of the storm. Like, let's say you gotta get it over to this crate. Now, how is the fastest way to do that? Obviously, you can maybe like pick it up, run over, drop it off, then run back into the storm to get the disco bomb, boogie bomb over here. And then you're still running pretty far, and it's going to take a lot of health off of you if you're in the storm that long. So instead what you can do is actually you pick it up and you want to look upwards and kind of like juggle them out of the storm. So you kind of like press the pickup button while you're looking upwards, kind of like spam it. You got to like pick it up, look up, and then you like spam it really quick, and it lets you kind of like carry the items for a while. Now it is tricky, and I think it might be easier to actually do on PC because you can look like straight up and do it like that. But see, you can like keep going on forever if you're looking straight up. You just keep carrying it. So that was actually pretty far. Now if you can get that down, you could like go the entire storm distance. But it is tough. Like, let's see how far we can get. Alright, like there you go. We got it all the way over here. But yeah guys, definitely way better than trying to just, drag the items running backwards. But oh, there's a John Wick. What are you doing? I don't like this, man. I'm doing something. I'm sorry, man. But moving on to the second tip, guys. This one has to do with the brand new addition to the game that was just added recently, the brand new bouncer pad trap. So these things are a ton of fun. It's kind of like the jump pad from like super long ago, but brought back and actually made useful. That thing honestly sucked back then. But now the bouncer pad is quite useful, and it actually works for this next tip I'm going to show you guys, which has to do with like using it to reset a build battle, which I'll explain right here. So for this one, I'll first have to show you this clip that I got yesterday, and this is from theater mode. But basically it came down to me and this last guy, and I launch padded him, so I'm flying over there ready to go, and basically we got into a build battle. It was pretty intense. He was a pretty good player, I'll admit that, and I made a couple of mistakes, let him get above me as you can see here, but eventually we kept going up higher and higher, and this is where the bounce pad kind of comes into play. So I drop down, heal up a little bit, kind of like box myself in so he doesn't know where I am, and after that I was kind of at a disadvantage because he was so high up above me. If I tried to build up, he could probably get some shots on me, maybe shoot on my stairs, and and I couldn't really jump down because we were so high up. I would have probably died from fall damage. So instead, I used the bouncer pad to push myself into this circle and get away from this giant building that we have like created on the side of the map. So by using that bouncer pad on the side to reset the build battle, it actually let me build a base inside the circle, so I had the circle advantage. And like as you can see here, he didn't even know where I was. The bouncer pad let me get away safely and then actually get behind him and land a few scar shots on him so that he only had a little bit of health left. Now along with that, I had my base set up while he was trying to build his, so he couldn't actually get anything set up. I just kept spamming him with the scar, and eventually I got that win with about 10 kills, so a pretty decent game. But that is all thanks to the bouncer pad allowing me to reset the build battle, especially since I wouldn't have been able to jump down. It was so high up, it would have been hard to place like floor pieces going down just because of like how weird the structure was. But since the bouncer pad gives you like 0 gravity, you can get out of there, get 0 fall damage, and it really makes for some amazing plays. So definitely guys, keep those on hand in case you get into a situation like this. But moving on to a tip that actually has to do with something outside of Fortnite. How many of you guys have thought about the TV or monitor you guys are using to play Fortnite? Because if you haven't thought about your monitor and you're just playing on, you know, like a big screen TV, you're actually putting yourself at a pretty big disadvantage. Now, what do I mean by putting yourself at a disadvantage? Well, there's a huge difference between like high quality like gaming monitors and like big screen TVs, and the main thing is actually the input lag. Now, input lag or display lag is actually quite a bit different from response time, which a lot of people get confused. Response time isn't as important, but with input lag, it is basically a measurement of how quickly you press a button on your controller and it shows up on the screen. Now with big TVs, that time is a lot slower. It's usually somewhere between like maybe 20-25 milliseconds to like 60 or 100 milliseconds. Now with a gaming monitor on the other hand, like the one I have, the input lag is around like I believe 9 or 10 milliseconds. Now you might think that's not a huge difference when it comes to milliseconds, but it actually makes a massive difference. I notice it, my friends notice it every time we play on like a big screen TV together as opposed to like our dedicated monitors. It just basically really affects how good your aim can be. If it's taking a longer time for your like movements to actually show up on screen, you're gonna have a harder time being more accurate. And really you just kind of have to like experience it to understand it. But this is the exact reason they have the gaming monitors at like tournaments for esports and stuff. It's the same thing with like the monitors Ninja uses, TSM Myth uses, all of those pro players. They have the fastest monitors to help with this input lag. So if you guys are looking for a monitor, I'll leave a site down below, explore it a little bit. It ranks a ton of monitors based on input lag, and again, not response time. Response time doesn't actually like affect how your movements are displayed on screen, but generally like a 10 millisecond input lag time is pretty good. I would recommend my monitors, but they're honestly getting a little bit old. It's probably time for me to upgrade. And then there's also refresh rate, which you may want to look into as well, but that's not the biggest deal if you're playing on consoles. But yeah guys, if you're a hardcore gamer, definitely look into your monitors and check some of that stuff out. But after that, we have a very cool tip that has to do with launch pads. One of my personal favorite items in the game. I mean, they're so fun to use, but this tip actually makes them more useful and has to do with the bouncer pads as well. So yeah, guys, let's go back into game here and show you me doing this in game. But actually, real quick, unfortunately, I don't know the original person that came up with this. I saw a post about it and could not find that post again. I searched so long. So if you guys know who came up with this idea first, leave it down below in the comments so maybe I can pin it or something like that. But yeah, as you guys can see here I am using the normal launch pad, and it only launches you up about this high, as you can see. Overall, it's pretty useful, but it's not as high as you can actually get it. So how can you make yourself go even higher with a launch pad? Well, by using the new bouncer pads. Now, it's not as simple as just like placing it on the wall. There's a certain way that you have to do it, and that is by putting a floor piece behind the launch pad, then putting up some walls, but more importantly, putting a wall between you and the launch pad and making it into an arch. So remove the bottom 3 pieces and the one in the center to create the arch by editing it, and that's actually a very important thing for this trick. Now after that, you then put your bouncer pad on the wall directly behind the launch pad, and when you run into the bouncer pad, don't jump, you only have to run, but it'll push you into the arch and then back down onto the launch pad. And because the bouncer pad kind of like makes you experience 0 gravity for a bit, it shoots you so freaking high up. Like as you can see here guys, I go so high up in the air, way higher than the original launch pad, and this lets me glide so much farther on the map. Now here you see me doing it again, just run into the bouncer pad, lets you hit the arch, arch, then back down onto the launch pad. You don't even have to do anything, and it launches you so freaking high up. It's actually insane, guys, how well this works. And what's actually kind of funny about this clip, a random noob kind of like ran up to me during this, trying to explore my new bouncer launch pad, and I gave him a little bit of a present of a trap on the ceiling. So that was kind of funny, but as you can see here in this clip, I use it to go towards the prison and actually sneak up behind somebody and get a quick and easy kill. So definitely one of the most unique tips ever. But jumping back into game here, this is another tip I want to show you guys that isn't like the most hidden tip. These are just, you know, kind of like weird creative tips that people don't use very much. But this one has to do actually with an item. So I'm just getting materials to kind of like show you how this works. But this tip simply has to do with C4. As you can see, the beautiful C4. Now, in the past, C4 absolutely sucked, but it recently got buffed like once, and then it got buffed even more to make it explode buildings and stuff like at an even bigger scale. And the explosions now are like absolutely massive. So I think we have enough materials right here. So let's build like a test. So just a 2x2 box. Something like this, you know, maybe you're going up against a squad and they've got their base like right here. Let's add a little bit of metal in there as well. Something like that. So yeah, say you come up on this base right here from like the hill and you want to blow it up right away. So what do? You just grab your C4, toss it in there, and watch this, guys. Look at that. Just absolutely opens up the entire thing. So everybody in here is open. You can start firing at them, or you can blow up the rest of it. Throw that right there. And boom, look at that. It even destroyed like everything over here. So yeah, I'm just bringing this up because I don't think C4 is like used very much. But if you're in a build battle especially and you use C4 to like knock your opponent down or knock down the structures, it's definitely an amazing tool that I think more of you guys should be using. But anyways, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it, and if you did, be sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for more awesome videos just like this, or you can check out some of my previous videos, such as on the left, going over how Blockbuster might be inside the meteor, and then on the right, the full Week 6 challenges guide. But other than that, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I will see you in the next one.